Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Stellar Studio Sessions. My name is Richie Mashiko.
I'm Malene Plato.
Today we're going to be talking about micro versus macro influencers and local versus global influencers.
Yep.
Okay, so I guess we could start off with this interesting topic that's come up really recently in influencer marketing campaigns, which is the idea of micro versus macro influencers.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to start off with what are the difference between the two?
I mean, macro are the influencers with like celebrity influencers, huge followings, millions of followers. Influencers like Kim Kardashian West and Kylie Jenner, Gigi Hadid, all of those big ones. Mm-hmm. And then the micro ones, I think, they have less followers, but they're more niche.
Right.
So it could be fashionistas, it could be gamers, it could be experts in technology.
Right.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Right. So I guess depending on your brand and your budget, obviously will kind of dictate of how you use the different types of influencers.
And your purpose as well.
Exactly. So if you're like Nike and you could afford to pay LeBron James $1 billion and Cristiano Ronaldo, like by all means, go ahead. Mm-hmm. But if you're a small brand, you definitely want to go down the micro influencer route, right?
Yeah.
And the great thing I think about what micro influencers have is, like Melina hit on, they're really niche, right? Mm-hmm. So you could find an influencer who loves cat shirts, who eats like kale salads and loves to go to Phil's Coffee, right?
Yeah.
You could find those people on the internet. And I think those types of influencers have audiences that are more passionate and engaged and trusting.
Yeah, I think, just because you're popular doesn't mean you're influential. I think that's important to remember. I think you can use those celebrity macro influencers for certain objectives, but it doesn't mean that just because people see your post that they're going to necessarily agree with you or think that you're actually using this product or, liking this product that you're advertising.
Right. Yeah, I think there's this in this debate, I think some people tend to villainize it's either all bad or all good, right? But I think there's good and bad in both, right?
I agree.
So I think if you work with a macro influencer, you might not get a positive ROI on that spend, right? Because if you want to work with someone who has over 1 million followers, you might be having to pay upwards of 5 figures just for one Instagram post.
Exactly.
So maybe you won't make the ROI on that post, but what you could do is say, hey, look, my brand was promoted by this influencer, this celebrity, and then that'll validate your brand for all these micro influencers and people who have a lot smaller followings to want to work with you.
Yeah, it's a great investment in brand awareness and social validation for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. And then I just think the micro influencers, they tend to convert a lot better. But right, if you want to really drive sales, then you need to do that at scale, right? Yeah. Whether it's 10, 20, 100, 1,000 influencers.
Yeah.
Even, right.
Yeah.
So I think that pretty much wraps it up for micro versus macro. Let's move on to local versus global influencers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this topic is not as talked about as the micro versus macro debate, but I think it's a really interesting one. I think when brands tend to think of influencer marketing campaigns, people in general, they might just think that these influencer campaigns are only meant for brands with huge budgets and who are not really relying on location, like e-commerce brands, for example. I think that local brands, there's a really big opportunity for small local brands. Think your local mom and pop restaurant, your local mom and pop clothing store, whatever it is, to really use influencer marketing effectively.
Yeah, last time we talked about the sorority girls being influencers. I think that's sort of an example of that. It's like niche, and these girls are influencers in their little field, and it could be from university to university or state to state.
Right. Yeah, I guess a good example, if we want to get specific, is if I had a restaurant near a college campus, what I would do, I would go on Instagram, find 10 accounts, 10 students who go there, who have over 3,000 followers. And you could assume these people are in college, right? A lot of their followers are going to be going to that college.
Yeah.
They're in that location, right?
Yeah.
and I would say, hey, come in, I'll give you a free meal. I just want you to take a picture, post it on your Instagram, do a story post of you at a restaurant, and tell you and just say, hey, come to restaurant ABC.
Yeah.
And I think you're gonna get a really good ROI on that.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So just keep in mind that it doesn't matter if you're a local brand, a local business, or a global decentralized brand. There's ways you could use influencer marketing.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and I think that's it for our topic today, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Stellar Studio Sessions. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, and if you want to learn more about digital strategy, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.